So what is wrong with True? I mean, this brother is dressed up, got some glasses on, like he's the next Malcolm X. There ain't nothing you can do, bro, at this point to save Nature Boy from himself. Nature Boy put himself in there, and Nature Boy is gonna have to get himself out. Now, what it turns out to me, from what I heard from yesterday's Chop It Up with Gargett, which is a supporter of Nature Boy, his peoples, Nateri is going full throttle with all 5 felonies that are on Nature Boy. And this is explaining why they're going so hard with trying to defend and get Nature Boy out of this mess. But I've been seeing on channels people bringing up those Zoom recordings and how he was acting. We know that the prosecutor got their hands on all of that stuff and what he was doing. They also got the videos of when Nateri was there. You know, these professionals that went to school for solving crimes, they know just how to decipher things and put it into layman terms so that they can convict somebody. We all have seen it happen. We have family members and friends that this has happened to. That's why the best thing to do is not to get in trouble, because it's hard to get out of this trouble. And Nature Boy's in some trouble, especially if there's any truth to what is being said, that Nateri is full throttle and going to go forth with all of it. Not that they need her, but Nature Boy's in some big trouble. And we gotta stop focusing on what Nateri did. This is a compilation of stuff that Nature Boy has done that he's being indicted on. Trust and believe. They have probable cause to even be holding him right now. This is what people are not understanding. He's not being held because he's an innocent man. There are things that they have found on these drives that Nature Boy has compiled of his own crimes that he recorded. Nobody else recorded it secretly. He recorded his own crimes. And they're using that as in the usual suspect. This is something in his nature that they believe that he's capable of doing. He's a menace to society. He's a threat to the community, and we're going to lock him up until we go to trial with it. And that it is what it is. It's no going around that. That is what it is, and that's what we have to understand. And I think True is not pushing the 3 for Nature Boy. He's pushing the 3 because he wants to hang around. Because
expression of the 7 deadly sins. Babylon is a European mentality. Babylon is a lower self mentality. That's all we've ever known. That's all we've ever known. So when you go to the tropics and you remove yourself from this environment, all the billboards, all of these goddamn sirens, people talking about sports and goddamn advertisements and music.
Because there's evidence, I'm quite sure, that was held against him that could be let out the bag by Nature Boy if he crosses Nature Boy. Everybody knows Nature Boy got something on all these Carbonation members. And they could be used in a court of law if Nature Boy feels as though too many people at the wrong time crossed him. They will go down with him. And I think that True's attitude is the people who have crossed Nature Boy are foolish, because they can go down with Nature Boy if they cross him and he has to serve some time. Nature Boy is not built like how we thought he was. Well, I already knew better. But a lot of people thought. There were people that used to get crazy on my comment section.
You have to remove the person from the environment that facilitated the destructive behavior and put them in an environment where they don't have access to these substances. And so the same thing applies to us. In order for us to heal ourselves from Babylon, we must remove ourselves from the same environment that's making us sick. So we have to
about Natureboy. They thought he was that dude. He portrayed himself to be these things. And now he's in jail. And you see people right now, the last of the Mohegans, they're trying to fend for their freedom. That's how I'm looking at it at this point. Because you can't make me believe otherwise. Answer this question. Why is Efuru back at her grandmother's house? Do you think right now Natureboy got time to have attitudes with Efuru and feel as though she's being shady or whatever the situation might be? Absolutely not. I believe Efuru left on her own free will because she's starting to use her common sense. It's starting to kick in. It just ain't kicked in.
Remove ourselves from Babylon and put ourselves in these tropical environments. Now, these tropical environments does not guarantee success just as much as going to rehab does not guarantee you stay off drugs. Some people go to rehab 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times and go right back and get high. Can't do it because they won't take responsibility for what they're doing and realize that these substances are only temporary.
Yet for true. Because I feel as though whether someone has something over your head or not, you still, my brother, you still have the right to leave and be a man and take care of your family first and foremost and not worry about this other nonsense that you have no control over later. Because if Natureboy is going to go down, you're going to go down with him either way. It doesn't make a difference. But I really think that True is still where he's at because he's afraid of the repercussions of leaving the situation, knowing he saw a lot of undermined stuff happen in his watch, and he knows he can be incriminated for that. He's not as stupid as you think he is. He knows he has dropped the ball numerous times because he was co-signing a lot of stuff that he didn't have to co-sign. He co-signed it because at the time he thought it was the right thing to do. And I'm quite sure he's learning the hard way that it's not. Because now you're really truly up here, true fighting for your freedom, quiet as kept. I believe that that's what you're trying to do. And now you want to speak the knowledge and what we need to be doing. But 90 days ago, Natureboy wasn't doing any of this stuff. This is what gets me. This is what I don't understand. You're giving the advice that you needed to be telling Natureboy. Nobody was even man enough to tell him that or woman enough to tell him that because they were too scared. And I'm not understanding why they were so scared. What is the reason for them being so scared? It's a really sad situation that, you know, he put himself in. But he's been doing this for quite so many years. How long do you think people are going to sit back and watch it and not do something about it? They've been watching Natureboy for a long time. He has said it out of his own mouth. It's not like he did not know that they were watching. He knew that they were watching him. And he played on the power that he currently had. The power that is not real power. Just because you got all these people watching you, those mass majority are probably watching you to watch you sabotage yourself. Because I'm quite sure the same ones that were cheering Natureboy on when he was doing these inhumane things to these people, they're now cheering on not to let him out. So what sense did that make for him to take it where he took it? It made no sense at all. He's the first one to say how fake people are and how real he is. But if he was a true master teacher, he would have knew right from wrong, and he would have knew common sense would tell you not to be up here sharing what you're doing behind closed doors, a percentage of it. And common sense also will tell you that what you're doing is inhumane and you're recording it, leaving a paper trail for them to find. And you wonder why they look at you as a menace to society and a threat to society. It's because of your own actions. But Nature Boy is a narcissist, and I know quite a few of them. And narcissists don't believe that they're wrong. It's everyone around them that are wrong. So if anyone attacks them or wrongs them, it's never them. It's always the other person as the perpetrator, not them. Now I heard some, really sickening things in the chop it up that I had did yesterday, and a lot of it checked out with me. That Nature Boy was very much capable of doing, thanks to Soular being recorded privately, and him being chatty patty don't help it because he's a willing participant to run business anyways. But especially when he thinks that it's off social media and he's saying something, oh, Soular does definitely run with all the tea. And I'm telling you, if a lot of these members that have left was given a chance to speak privately with these investigators, they told all of this stuff that Nature Boy was doing to the women, saying that he had mastered putting them into seizures. So if they got out of control, they know what exactly could happen to them, and that's how he kept them in check. Those are inhumane situations, and ultimately he's better be lucky that with the time that he's facing or the charges that he has are just those charges, because it could have got worse. Somebody could have been taken out of this world behind the actions on Nature Boy's watch. So he better be lucky that they stepped in when they did. I think they should have stepped in earlier before he even got to the part, where Nateri is now saying that she was violated. I think that they should have stepped in earlier so that would not have happened. Maybe he would have been at the worst case scenario being checked by the system by probation or something, house arrest, and that would have been enough, trust me, to scare him to know that probation is time on layaway. So if Nature Boy was to do anything further, he was going to go to jail. But they took him in when they did, and I guess they wanted to compile enough evidence to make sure that they was able to sit him down.